times now that police have identified miscreants behind the protest that took place outside Jama Masjid today. There are some political links emerging to the protesters who went violent, who staged protests outside Jama Masjid and raised slogans asking for arrest of Nupur Sharma. There will be FIR that will be naming all those who are behind the protest. Priyank gets us more details. Priyank, tell us more about these political links.
Steve, the Delhi police has done the initial bit of investigation, and since they're calling it a spontaneous protest, they have also identified a few local leaders who could be having an association with AIMIM. This is what sources have been suggesting. But for sure, Priya, there will be an FIR that will be filed in relation to the violation of Section 188 of CRPC, which is being told by the senior officials. So on Jama Masjid protest, which happened after the Friday prayer, the Delhi police is going to file an FIR. This is the breaking news which we are getting to know. They are trying to identify those local suspects who were the miscreants who were behind this protest, which was spontaneously called, and they managed to hide all these pages which had posters of Naveen Kumar as well as Nupur Sharma. There was a clear-cut instruction that from the Shahi Imam of Jama Masjid as well, that all those people who are coming to Jama Masjid for offering Friday prayers should not indulge in any kind of protest, but still this will happen. That's why the Imam is also having a series of dialogue with the Delhi police so that the situation can be diffused. Although the protest was only for 15 minutes, it did not continue for long. But the manner in which the law has been defined, Delhi police is going to file an FIR against those miscreants who were part of this unorganized and unauthorized gathering at the Jama Masjid premises.
Right. The scale of this protest and the fact that it happened in the national capital is quite worrying. Now FIRs being filed, political links being explored. Thank you, Priyank. We move on back to Uttar Pradesh, where the fires of protest are spreading even further. The latest visuals coming in from Deoband, where there were also protests that took place. Now the police have told Times Now that 5 people have been arrested for the protests. Amir, over to you for more details.
Well, we did have information about protests taking place in Deoband as well. Although in Saharanpur city as well, protests had taken place, and we had first visuals of the protests taking place in Saharanpur and then the resultant commotion. But the district police had initially denied that any such sort of protests have taken place in Deoband. Deoband is definitely very, very significant also because of Darul Uloom, the biggest seminary in Asia belonging to Muslims, which is why the protests there happening there have a different kind of a connotation as well as significance. But now the police has confirmed that 5 such individuals have been picked up. They've been placed under arrest for fanning such kind of protests, aggressive protests, and the police definitely has taken action. And as we were discussing earlier, the Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has given clear instructions to all administrative officials and the police department officials that they must identify the culprits, the troublemakers and perpetrators of such kind of violent protests in each of such violent incident that takes place. They should be booked and immediately placed under arrest, and more such people should be identified who might be actually potential troublemakers trying to make some kind of a scheme for in the coming days to disturb the peace and law and order within the state. So the Chief Minister has handled such situations in Uttar Pradesh earlier as well during anti-NRC and CAA protests, and we had seen hundreds and hundreds of FIRs being registered against such people who indulged themselves into violence, and also thousands of people were actually arrested in all such cases. Even their properties were seized, and they had to pay for the kind of damage to public and private property they had caused because of this kind of violence. So exemplary action has been taken against such elements in the past, and this time as well. Perhaps it is only a matter of time before we hear similar action taking place in all such cases that are being reported from across the state of Uttar Pradesh.
Right. Thankfully, no inciting slogans, etc. happening there, Amir. But